All right, so I'm going to use the shell command one more time. This time I'm going to make an object just with a little bit more slight angles instead of a box. I'm going to do a truncated pyramid again. Just to make sure that there's more angles. I want the number of sides to be 5. And I have ortho turned on. So I'll set my first distance at 20. I'll set the height also at 20. And the last one, I'll set it at 5. And normally if I was doing this, I would use the same method as before, where I would duplicate or make a copy of the bottom by extracting it. And then using the shell and to put it back. But one thing just to note with this, I'm going to over-exaggerate the thickness of this. I'm going to undo, just edit undo. And I'm going to over-exaggerate the thickness of this just so you can see. So I'm going to do shell thickness. We had it at 1. I'm going to do, for example, I'm going to do 5. And you can see with the wall thickness, you can see this part in the middle, it's getting smaller. Depending on the size of your object and your wall thickness, if your wall thickness is too large, there's the tendency to essentially make your model break. And I'm going to do that on purpose on this next try. So I did Control Z again, or edit undo. I'm going to do shell. And instead of 5, I'm going to do 7. And here, there's a warning that says shell result is not solid. I hit OK. And here I can see the main reason why is this wall thickness is so thick that there's a lot of overlap. And in order to get it to work, it has to remove some of these faces. So it's just not possible in this case to use the shell command with this thickness. So if for any reason, if you're using the shell command and you're getting these pieces that are missing, it's mainly because your wall thickness is too thick for certain parts of your model. So one way is just to make the wall thickness a little bit thinner. But again, it should work as long as your wall thickness is correct. So if I just hit Control Z, I'll do shell again. I'll do a thickness of, I'll go down to 3. That works. Again, I would just do the same thing with this one. This one's a little bit trickier because if I do an offset surface, I'll even keep it at a distance of, I'll keep it at 1 for now, see what it does. I'll move this into place. Here again, we're getting something similar to what we had last time, mainly because of the angles that are there. So here, if you want to do something that's slightly a little bit more accurate, we could also, instead of using this this piece, we could also just do make a copy of this. So I'm going to use duplicate border. Or maybe I might have to use a duplicate edge. And click around the edges of this. Hit enter. I'm going to join them. And on this command here to make a surface, I'm going to click and hold down and say surface from planar curves. Or maybe I might not have to do that. Maybe I could actually just take this curve that I have and just do extrude curve. and just give it a thickness of, say, 2. Yep, that works. So now if I have my clipping plane, it should show up correctly. Yep, and that works correctly. And even if I were to rotate this, it should show up the same way. Yep, and that works out correct. And I can just delete my clipping plane if I need to. And now this truncated pyramid has a thickness. Again, just be aware not to go, make sure your wall thickness is not too thick, just so you don't run into an issue where it starts to delete faces.